Batch of emojis released this week includes one honoring the late David Bowie. Bowie's emoji includes both male and female versions of the gender-blending pop star. Also among the new batch, female judges, teachers, firefighters, astronauts, and plumbers. The release follows a big push by Google to promote gender equality through its emojis. All right, drop everything and watch frozen pumpkins dropping from a rooftop. Plus, you won't believe where a toddler in China decided to ride his toy car. Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
With Halloween over, there's going to be a lot of stinky, rotting pumpkins being thrown out. But why throw them out when you can throw them off the roof? University of Oregon students dipped pumpkins in negative 321-degree liquid nitrogen and then dropped them off a 4-story campus rooftop to watch them shatter. Not exactly sure if there's any learning going on here, but it sure does look cool. Man, I wonder what they do to Christmas trees. Pumpkins weren't the only thing flying from rooftops. Young patients at a San Antonio Children's Hospital got surprise visits from their favorite superheroes who literally swung by to say hello. The event was to benefit kids who weren't able to leave the hospital for Halloween, and in addition to Batman and Superman, the kids also got to meet some real-life heroes, spending time with area police officers, firefighters, and other emergency responders. Speaking of emergencies, someone want to get this kid out of the road? Terrifying video captured in China shows a toddler riding a toy car straight into oncoming rush hour traffic. Cars swerve around the child, but amazingly, no one seems compelled to stop and, help. Eventually, a police officer arrives and removes the child safely. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
She's just 1 minute older.
I'm just 1 minute older.
Have you seen this? So cute. So this video is of a pair of adorable twin sisters from New Jersey. It's gone viral, all because they learned that one of them is 1 minute older than the other. The parents of 3-year-olds Ava and Alexis posted the video on YouTube last week, showing the conversation their mommy had with them about what it means to be a twin. The girls delighted in learning that being an identical twin means they get to look alike, but Alexis, as you just saw, was not pleased to find out that her sister is 1 minute older than she is.
Oh goodness, sibling rivalry,
sweet.
huh?
Yeah.
Even among little twins.
And even among anchors, because I would like to point out that my co-anchor is a lot older than me.
It's now 5:55.
More on your forecast when we come back.
And wiser and more experienced. It's about 3 minutes now before 6 o'clock.
And we're going to have some foggy conditions, especially in South Mississippi. If you're traveling from I-55 southbound and you're getting into Copiah and Simpson County, that's where the fog really starts to get thick. And that's why there's a dense fog advisory for areas in South Mississippi until 10 a.m. We're in for another hot one, cooler weather coming straight into the weekend and an extra hour of sleep.
Hey there, Eric. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 3 2 1.
WLBT, 3 on your side. WLBT News starts now.
Coming up at 6, a Greenville church makes national news after someone sprayed it with political graffiti and set it on fire. We've got the latest on what's now being investigated as a hate crime. Plus, what did not come with a Gulfport attorney's fried chicken dinner is now the center of a lawsuit. Our Cheryl Lassiter is tracking the latest in the Alert Center. And it's a good day to be a Cubs fan. The team is celebrating its first World Series win in more than a century.
And right now I am tracking some dense fog in South Mississippi. In fact, we have a dense fog advisory for all counties in gray. Look at your screen until 10 a.m. When will it get out of here? The forecast straight ahead on WLBT News this morning.
With our state's troubled history with racially motivated crimes, this story is putting the national spotlight on Mississippi once again. A historic African-American church has been charred and gutted by arson. The fire at Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church in Greenville is being investigated as a hate crime. The words "Vote Trump" were painted on the side of the church, leading many to speculate that it's all about race. The bishop of the church says he is not pointing fingers. Instead, he's talking about forgiveness.
We'll have a place on Sunday morning. We're going to continue to praise God, and as far as this, we're looking forward to just rebuilding, renovating, whatever we have to do.
An $11,000 reward is being offered for information. We have been told a person of interest is being questioned, but no suspect has been named. The police chief is calling this crime a form of voter intimidation. Congressman Benny Thompson issued a statement condemning the church burning, and he is urging the feds to work with local law enforcement to bring the person responsible to justice. He says, quote, "The political message of the vandalism is obviously an attempt to sway public opinion regarding the upcoming election. I encourage all citizens not to be deterred by this cowardly act and exercise your right to vote at the ballot box," end quote. And right now, both presidential candidates remain focused on states where polls show either could win. For more on this developing story, you can visit our website, msnewsnow.com.
Oh, you were sleeping crews were working an overnight accident in Hinds County. We're told the driver is safe after the pickup truck flipped in the westbound lanes of Interstate 20 at Bolton. There were no injuries reported. The accident is under investigation. Happening today, opening statements in the murder trial of a former police officer in South Carolina are expected to begin. Michael Slager was an officer in Charleston last year when he shot and killed an unarmed man after a traffic stop. The shooting of 50-year-old Walter Scott was captured by a police dashboard camera and on a cell phone camera. Slager's attorneys have argued that there is more to the incident than what is shown in the video and have filed a motion to ask the judge to block the video from being introduced as evidence. Slager faces 30 years to life in prison if convicted. A Jackson man faces charges after a stabbing while on the job. Police tell us a fight between two employees ended when one man stabbed his co-worker at Customized Distribution Center on Industrial Drive. Police say after the stabbing, 40-year-old Frederick White left. He later turned himself in. White is charged with aggravated assault. The victim is now stable. Happening now in North Mississippi, police are searching for the shooters who killed a 16-year-old girl and shot 5 other people.
Loved ones say Alana Tello would have turned 17 today. Tello was shot Tuesday night at a Memphis park, but she's from Horn Lake, Mississippi. Investigators believe the motive was a fight over a cell phone.
To, fight it out. Not have everyone shot and hurt and people dying. We're kids. We're going to fight it out.
A balloon release is planned at Horn Lake High School this morning. A Gulfport attorney who choked on a piece of chicken last year is suing Popeyes for the utensils included with his meal. Cheryl Lassiter gets us up to speed in the Alert Center. Cheryl.
Yeah, attorney Paul Newton Jr. says he ordered a meal that included chicken, but He was not given a fork and a knife, he was given a spork, which is a plastic spoon with fork tongs on the end. He says he had to tear the chicken with his teeth because he didn't have a knife, and he ended up choking on the chicken. The lawsuit says Newton had to undergo emergency surgery to remove the food from his throat. He wants his medical expenses paid, as well as compensation for pain and suffering and punitive damages. He also wants all future Popeyes drive-thru customers to get a plastic knife with their meal. That's the latest from the Alert Center.
Okay, in Decision 2016, now more than 80,000 Mississippians have asked for absentee ballots to vote next week. Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann hopes at least 60% of eligible voters here cast ballots next week, and he hopes they vote for someone who's already on the ballot. He says writing in a candidate is a waste of time.
Write-ins are not effective. You're throwing your vote away. Don't write in.
If you want to vote in certain races but not others, that's not encouraged, but your ballot is still valid.
Absentee ballots must be in by Monday at 5. If you're 65 or older or have a disability, you can vote early at your circuit clerk's office until Saturday. Happening today, Continental Tire will take a big step closer to building its enormous new plant in Mississippi.
Ashley Garner joining us live this morning to explain. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning, Joy and Wilson. We are here in Hinds County on the site where Continental Tire plans to build that new plant. Now, here behind me, it's only brush and woods out here, but that won't be the case in the next coming months when they plan to begin construction. Now, construction is expected to begin January 2018, and it is expected to be complete in October of 2019. Today, they'll have their groundbreaking ceremony here, and Governor Phil Bryant and other state leaders are expected to attend the ceremony. The $1.4 billion plant is expected to create 2,500 jobs here in the area. The international company has locations in 53 countries and now right here in Jackson, Mississippi. They'll be making heavy truck and passenger vehicle tires. Governor Phil Bryant and others say it took 2 years to make this deal that will be a huge economic impact for the Clinton and Hinds County area. Now, planning is already underway to address widening of roads and constructions of homes in the area that in order to handle the influx of people that the plant may bring in. Now, the ceremony again begins this morning at 10 here at the plant site. Reporting live in Hinds County, Ashley Garner, 3 on your side.
All right, Ashley. History was made as the Chicago Cubs beat the Cleveland Indians in Game 7 of the World Series. The game was delayed briefly due to heavy rain in the area. The Cubs beat the Indians 8-7 in the end. It took 10 innings to do so. The last time the Cubs won the series was back in 1908. They are celebrating in Chicago, and there are little celebrations going on all over the country for Cubs fans who are elsewhere. I couldn't stay up for the whole thing, but I stayed up long enough to feel confident when I went to bed that they were going to pull it off, and lo and behold,
indeed they did.
They did. It's 6:07 now, and we're in the low 60s this way. It's actually 60 degrees on the nose right now.
We got traffic and weather together for you. Take a look if you can behind us here, or actually on your screen. I-55 at Savannah Street, pretty foggy here for folks heading down south towards Byram. As you can see, traffic starting to pick up. Of course, this is in that construction zone, so you're going to have to be extra careful as you move through this area simply because of the construction cones up and the fog, which Heather is tracking for us.
Yeah, we're seeing it in multiple locations this morning, especially in Macomb at Rainbow with our Alpha Insurance Skycam. So if you're heading out the door, if you can, get ready really quick because we could use every extra minute you can to get where you're going. You want to use that white line on the right-hand side as a guide going down the road if you run into some really thick fog. When will the fog get out of our hair? That forecast when we come back right here on WLBT News this morning. Time now 6:08 and 61 degrees.
This is WLBT First Alert Weather.
Rise and shine. It's wake up time. First Alert meteorologist Heather Sophia. Time now 6:11, 61 degrees, and we have to deal with some fog this morning. So if you can, hurry and get ready and try to get out the door as soon as you can, especially if you're waking up south of the metro. You could see in Macomb the foggy conditions continuing to get thick there. Over the capital city, not too bad, but I do understand that if you're traveling on Lakeland, that is going to be a foggy spot for you, a spot that many of you will be traveling this morning. If you're in the gray, take a quick look at your screen this morning. If your county is in gray, that means you're under a dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. And look at this. You can only see about a quarter of a mile in front of you in Macomb. 1 mile visibility in Brookhaven. Not too bad in Natchez. We're at 8 miles, 5 mile visibility there across the metro. So just be sure to put on those low beams this morning as you head out the door. And you could see that fog sticking around through about 8, 9 o'clock. I think by 9:30, all of this fog will be gone. And that's going to give way to yet another warm day. Even though a front is moving our way, rain, it's going to be a tough one to get rain to fall from the sky today. A sprinkle possible, but that's going to be about as best as you can get. We could see across the metro from the airport spillway, Tennant, Clinton, Forest Hill, Gluckstadt, Madison. We are dry, and we're going to get the latest update on the severe drought situation later this morning. And I do expect to see that orange color associated with that severe drought extend farther south, because from last week, not much has changed. The only thing that's changed is we're not getting any rain, so drought conditions will get worse. And that's why the burn bans for all counties in red continue and will continue until we get significant rain in the forecast to help get some moisture into the ground. As we go through the day, that hour by hour forecast closer to the lunch hour will be into the mid 70s, topping out today in the mid 80s. Our first alert forecast model, we are going to see some clouds out there. But again, if we see any rain, I think the best chance of getting any will be north of I-20, Yazoo, Holmes, over into parts of Sharkey and Issaquah County. That's it. And looking ahead through the weekend, I do expect to see possibly about 1/10 of an inch of rain. Tuesday is election day. We do expect to see a slight chance of rain, especially in the afternoon. So for today, in the meantime, while we wait for it, temperatures will be at 86, and we are going to see those temperatures fall to the low 60s by tonight. The weekend forecast is looking good, feeling good, and bonus here, you get an extra hour of sleep. Daylight saving time ends so at 2 in the morning. We are going to continue to see cooler weather on the way, and stick around starting tomorrow.
All right, let's take a look at First Alert traffic and weather together for you now. JPD tells us it's all clear in the immediate Jackson area on the highways. Here's a live look outside at I-55 there at Fortification Street there near downtown. And as you can see, all clear there. This is the case pretty much all around the area. We still have that incident on I-20 in the westbound lanes at Bolton, where there was an accident overnight. Still clearing that up. I-20 westbound at Bolton. Otherwise, all clear.
Right now, several crews are working to repair another failed water main in the capital city. This one is on Eastover Drive. Heavy equipment has been brought in to help with repairs. Crews are also having to pump water from the large hole. And as a result of that water main break, a precautionary boil water alert is in effect for about 75 connections. Take a look at your screen. We've got a list of the streets that are being impacted: Eastover Drive, Sleepy Hollow Drive, Twin Lakes Circle, Greenbrier Drive, and Pebble Lane. If you live in this area or on any of these streets, you are advised to boil your water before you drink it, and you'll be notified when it is safe to drink again. 6:14.
More news, traffic, weather coming up.
First Alert meteorologist Heather Sophia tracking dense fog, especially in South Mississippi. A dense fog advisory in effect for all counties in gray until 10 a.m. We are going to be well above normal for afternoon high temperatures, 85, but today will be the last of this warm weather. Cooler weather moving in tomorrow. Highs will be in the upper 70s, even cooler over the weekend. Highs will be in the mid 70s. Daylight saving time ends on Sunday. That means you get an extra hour of sleep. Slight rain chance comes back on Election Day, Tuesday. Welcome back, everyone, to WLBT News. It is 6:17. The normal high for this time of the year is 72. We're going to zoom right past that today, and Jackson will have a high of 85 degrees. We'll copy and paste that, do it again, and Vicksburg, Natchez, a high of 87. It is going to be quite warm. The good news is I am expecting to see cooler weather arrive because of a cold front. I'm tracking it for you coming up out of the next commercial break.
New this morning, State Representative David Beria is asking the Mississippi National Guard to investigate the service record of U.S. Congressman Stephen Palazzo, who's up for re-election in South Mississippi. Cheryl Lassiter has the emerging details from the Alert Center. Cheryl?
Yeah, Beria says he sent a letter to the Inspector General of the Mississippi National Guard on Wednesday asking them to look into allegations that Palazzo did not fulfill his military duty with the 155th Bravo Company in Poplarville. Beria, who is a Democrat, says he has received numerous messages from people asking for answers after a member of Palazzo's team came forward saying Palazzo did not report for drill with the 155th. But Palazzo, a Republican, has steadfastly denied these claims. His chief of staff says the congressman has fulfilled all of his drill requirements with the Guard, and the vast majority was at Camp Shelby near Hattiesburg. That's the latest from the Alert Center.
All right, Cheryl, thanks. New this morning, NBC's latest battleground map is showing a narrower path to victory for Hillary Clinton as both candidates hit the same battleground state today. Tracy Potts has the latest.
We've got to be nice and cool. Nice and cool. Right? Stay on point, Donald. Stay on point. No sidetracks, Donald. Nice and easy. Nice.
Donald Trump staying on message overnight in Florida, taking a page from Bernie Sanders' playbook, telling supporters he raised $100 million in small donations last month.
That sounds more like a Democrat thing, not a Republican thing, right?
Today, Trump and Hillary Clinton both campaign in North Carolina, where African-American turnout is down from 2012. Not good news for Clinton as she awaits results of the FBI's email investigation. She's also hoping to win Arizona, a red state.
We have a real chance to turn this state blue again.
Her latest message, imagining a Trump presidency.
Imagine having a president who demeans women, mocks the disabled, insults Latinos, African Americans, Muslims, POWs, who pits people against each other instead of pulling us together.
Putting a wife to work is a very dangerous thing.
Both candidates are out with final TV ads.
Clinton won't change Washington. She's been there 30 years.
Now, just 5 days from America's final choice. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Well, the election is over for our new morning meteorologist. It's Heather Sophia who wins by a landslide, and we're delighted to have
Thank
you with
you.
us permanently now, Heather.
I'm excited to be part of the morning team, and this morning we're dealing with a bit of fog, so you want to put on your low beams. Temperatures right now are at 61 degrees. It is a little misty out there, so you may have to put on your windshield wipers just to get that mist out of the way. And then by 10 a.m. I expect those dense fog advisories that are in place for many counties in South Mississippi to expire. Now this afternoon, don't hold your breath. We have a slight chance of rain, but I'm not expecting everybody to get in on the rain. A high of 85, much cooler weather on the way. I'll show it to you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we've got First Alert traffic and weather together for you now.
Yes, indeed. Take a live look outside. I-55 at Lakeland Drive is what we're showing you here. And as you can see, it is okay. Everybody moving along with no issues for folks heading southbound towards our station here. Or if you've got to head up towards Madison County this morning, you're going to be rolling along I-55 northbound. No issues out there. Of course, we have been mentioning a little bit of fog. You may encounter it this morning as you head out the door. So give yourself some extra time and be very careful once you do arrive safely. Next on 3, country stars and fans gather for this year's Country Music Awards. We've got more on one of the biggest surprises of the night. Stay tuned.
First Alert meteorologist Heather Sophia. The normal high today, low 70s. And again, we're going to zoom right past it. I'm expecting a high of 85 in Jackson and in Vicksburg, even warmer in Natchez and Macomb. I do expect to see much cooler weather coming. That's because a front's coming. Now, you would think a front would equate to rain. While we have a slight chance of it, most of us are going to stay dry today. But check out tomorrow, 77 if you like that. Look ahead to the weekend. Afternoon highs in the mid 70s, and we get an extra hour of sleep. First Alert meteorologist Heather Sophia. Temperatures this morning will be in the 60s, and closer to the lunch hour we'll be knocking at 80. I am expecting to see those afternoon highs in the mid 80s with winds at the west-southwest at 5. So if you're going to get your golf game on this morning and you got the morning off, you're in for a treat. We are going to see much cooler weather starting tomorrow and even better over the weekend. Quite refreshing. Daylight saving time ends. That means we get an extra hour of sleep. Your clocks fall back. Rain